What is up, sports fans? We are back for another episode of The Fan and the End. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rychel. To the right of me, the man, Mr. Marvin Powell III. And below me, the big man himself, Mr. Ben Troupe. Ben, guys, fellas, how we doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Getting ready for this. Getting geared up for this super duper. Got a potential SC. What is it? What'd you say last night, Marvin? The SC Hawks.
The first quarterback a Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're getting our first.
You get that?
USC quarterback he's gonna win it. Listen, I'm not always overconfident about things, but I trust in that Seattle defense.
I mean, hold on. No. I'm just asking Marv. Is the trash talking ready? Like, y'all, they win it, Super Bowl MVP. Are you who's getting the first call? Do you got Mel number to say? Do you see what happens? This you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just,
Well, listen, Mel would be quick to throw Troy Aikman at me anytime I mentioned he would. But y'all, listen, for USC, the school who, depending upon the year, we've put the most NFL draft picks out there. We've had the most NFL players in history, and it's odd to think of all the players that we put out, all of the 14 Pro Football Hall of Famers and the others who are coming. Well, it's 15 now with Troy Polamalu, but it's unbelievable. We don't have a quarterback. You think guys that we've had a bunch of guys who play in the league. We've had like 20 guys drafted, and we've had 20 quarterbacks drafted into the NFL. A few of them had decent careers, but no Super Bowl. So yeah, this is historic for USC fans. It's historic for college football in that sense. And I'm eager to see Sam Darnold run that score up, get that MVP, make some amazing plays, do what he did in that 2016 Rose Bowl against Penn State. Y'all remember that when he was out there with Saquon?
That Rose Bowl. Saquon was on the show.
Yeah, so no, this is a big deal, man. It's a big deal. So I'm excited about it. And as a Jet fan, I am 100% going for them Seahawks today. The US Seahawks.
See, and it's not just that Darnold's there. It's the fact that Ben was talking about it last night. Evil Empire can't get another one.
We have to come together. I mean, and I get it, Marv. You are a Jets fan. You are a Yankees fan. Yeah.
Dodgers too.
Dodgers. Oh my God.
I agree. I grew up hardcore.
You're LA kid. No, I get it. I get to LA, and then you had to go out there. I mean, God. I mean, I can live with the Dodgers. The Dodgers. I mean, that's tradition. I can live with it. They got Freddie Freeman. They took our first baseman for the Braves. But it's all good. Cool. That's another show for another day. But no,
Freddie's agent screwed him on that. You know that. Freddie wanted to stay in Atlanta.
Don't get me. Please,
he wanted to stay in his agent screwed him over on that.
He's turning the wheel on him.
You know that though, right?
No, I did. I do know. Yeah. I mean, I do know. And the thing is, with everything that front office, listen, when that front office got switched up, they had FBI agents walking by them. It was crazy. It was crazy up there in Atlanta. But Freddie Freeman is cool. He wanted to be a Brave. And I know when he came back, he was crying and did the tribute. But Freddie Freeman is about as good as a baseball player can be with that high waist. But hey, man, it's cool, man. It's a Dodgers. I don't want the Dodgers winning it, but I can respect it. I don't want the Yankees ain't won, and for this, the Yankees haven't won since 2009. So Aaron Judge can have 789 career home runs as long as he don't get that World Series, and it's not happening. That's all I'm saying. Love you, Aaron Judge, but no World Series, sir.
Well, I know we jumped right into it, but just want to get this out there before I forget about it. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Fight Wax. Fight Wax is a skin defense system that helps treat cuts, swelling, scrapes, abrasion, rejuvenates, and restores stressed skin. Customers have used for soreness, stiffness recovery, designed to help athletes in active lifestyles, and it also provides an ultra silky, non-greasy feel. Deep hydration for everyday skin care, helps fight dry skin. Customers have used it for eczema, psoriasis, and other skin disorders. They also got the soap coming out. They got some stuff for your pets, and actually, they just sent me this graphic. When broken down against some of these other skincare products that are out there, they're blowing them out the water. And as far as actually being helped what they're saying, and then you look at this when you're looking at some of these other skin care products, they're $60, $50, $80. White wax $29.99. Now, obviously, it may not be as much in the tin as you see in some of the items pictured there, but they're doing what they got to do to knock it out the park. So, guys, if you haven't got a chance to head over to their website, type my name in the area to get access to the site. Go grab yourself some stuff. As Lincoln said, we got some stuff coming to Ben, coming to Marvin, coming to Scott and Candy. So support the companies that support us, and make sure you guys are checking that out. So one of the things I want to talk about to you, we talk about a lot of times, athletes playing hurt, athletes playing injured. I don't know if you guys have seen this over the last few days, but Lindsey Vonn had a tough run. She was doing one of her last little practice runs before we're getting into the Olympics, and completely blew out her knee. And from what I'm hearing right now is she's still going to compete, that she's basically wrapping her up. And, her comments, as you can see here, she's not letting this last opportunity slip through her fingers, that she's going to do it. And that's the end of the story. Now, we talk about how tough hockey players are, how tough football players are, how tough our combat sports athletes are. Man, that woman tough, because you already know when it comes to that it's going to be bouncing her knee around, hitting them slopes. What do you guys? I'm going to start with Marvin on this one. What do you think about Lindsey Vonn basically fighting through doctor's orders and everything else in between for her, one of what looks like to be one of her last chances to get that gold medal?
She's an elite athlete, which means she's a dog. I mean, she's a straight dog. She is a straight competitor. You know what I mean? She got it deep. I mean, she's done her little modeling stuff and dated her little celebrities, but this ain't no 90210 girl. This is a dog competitor who is used to competing against the best in the world. And she has the same mentality as a Floyd Mayweather or a Lawrence Taylor or Aaron Judge. You know what I mean? She's a dog. And it does not surprise me as she's getting older and realizing that the reality of her not being able to ski again, that hits her. She realizes that. She realizes how connected and how one she is with that sport and the training and just the lifestyle of an athlete. She misses that. So she has an opportunity here to go get it. I don't know the extent of her injury. I don't know what the timeline's really looking at for her in regards to how fast she can get better. And, sports science has evolved and we're in a different day. But the biggest factor in her getting out there is her heart and her character and her drive. This is just showing you that even in a sport that you think is passive and and sexy, like skiing and it's the snow and how cool is that? Them people in them boots on them skis is dogs for real. That's what this reminds me of. And as a competitor, I respect it, and man, I'm rooting for effort like that. That's the kind of heart, that's the kind of heart we need at USC. You know what I mean? We need, people who willing to go out there and just get it done, regardless, no excuses. I love it.
Ben.
Yeah, I agree. Respect to her. I mean, Lindsey Vonn's telling people this is who I've always been, and I get it when you talk about being able to do these things. I got people don't like this. Listen, 1960 to 1989. People that was born in that era, And I nothing against people born in the 50s and nothing against these youngest born in the 90s. 1960 to 1989, that was a different generation, people, right? Lindsey was born in 84. She know how to go out there and get it. And like you said too, Marv, she's letting people know, look, man, I'm not doing nothing noteworthy other than the fact that I would have done this 10 years ago. If my knee goes out, I mean, what you gonna do? Unfortunately, I can get another knee. It might not be a real. I can get another. I can't get this opportunity back. And no, she's really talking to her competition. Oh, y'all thought I wasn't going. Nah. See, they read that. Hey, Lindsay, man, she blew her knee out. I just seen Lindsay out there. What you mean she's still out there? I just seen her. Nah, she's not gonna do it, right? Who told you that? Ronnie lied. People cut his finger off. And people like, that's crazy. That's football, man. You know how different you got to be a professional athlete? You different. There's nothing, just because I'm meek and I'm easygoing, I'm a different animal out there. I got to be. Man, what you gonna do, Ronnie? Cut it off. What you gonna do, Lindsay? Man, put some tape on it, put some Bengay on it, man. I got a couple of dollars, man. I got enough brains and just enough change. Let's go out here and do it. Because if I don't do it, this is what she's really saying. I don't think they better than me. Even with my knee like this, I don't think they better than me, man. And that's what really drives you in sports, is to say, I don't know. I mean, you know how many players that say, I remember Marvin Powell, you talking about the one that played fullback? Yeah, man, that dude was different. Because I'm going to make you play football today. All that cute stuff, no, we about to run ISO. You know what's coming. I know what's coming. Out the power eye. I ain't coming in motion. I'm coming out the huddle. I'm looking right at you. I ain't blinking my eye. Lindsay is saying, do you really want to do this, ladies? To those that's coming behind me, if you ain't willing to put this in, don't even come out here on these slopes, man. Hey, I got a messed up knee. Hey, man, I ain't been 100% since they said it was a girl. Since 1984, I've been scratching and clawing since then. I respect it. Regardless of what happens, I respect what she's done. Because when Kobe tears his Achilles, he walks up to the line and shoots his free throws, crying and everything. That's the part of sport that let people know, man, y'all sharing the court with a dude with a torn Achilles who shouldn't even be able to walk, by the way. He said, let me just shoot my free throws. What? I'm going to shoot my free throws. And I'm going to cry all the way to this locker room. That is what so shout out to her, man. She's done it all in the sport. But she says, as long as I'm out here, I'm out here. No excuses. I'm not going to let age and none of that be a factor. I respect it so much. That's why Tiger Woods won't retire. He should. Got $1 billion. Nah, bro. I think I can't remember how many years removed we from that Masters that he won like 3 or 4 years ago when he come around, that back now, on the 18th, when they with the red polo on and the black slacks, you know what I'm saying? Tiger Woods birthed a whole generation of golfers. All them dudes want to be Tiger. He out there with them, beating all y'all. So, Lindsay, keep doing your thing, man. As long as you want to do it, do it. You've earned it. What they gonna do? Tell her no? Hey, Lindsay Vaughn said, do not take her name off the list. Where's she at? She's back there. She's gonna do it too. She's getting it. She ready right now. I respect it. I mean, I got 2 daughters, man, and one of them play basketball. And my daughter's always saying, man, Daddy, I'm just as good as the boys. I said, no, you just got to be just as good as you. You bump them. You ain't compete against them. Go out there and show them ladies out there you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to compete with them. And guess what? The fastest women in the world will beat most men. The fastest woman in the world will smoke most dudes. So don't give me that. Don't give me Usain Bolt. I know he the fastest human being ever. Could she beat you? Yep. Smoke you. So I respect it so much, man. Blew out, didn't hurt her knee. You blew it out. Dude, you supposed to, most football players you done. So yeah. Shout out to her.
Yeah, I was like, listen, she's been so close so many times, and when I heard that, I'm like, oh no, that's like the worst time to have something happen, right? And then she's like, yeah, this ain't stopping me, and that's just remember when the whole Nancy Kerrigan thing was going on, and you still competed regardless. Like it kind of reminds me of stuff like that. Like when you hurt, you're injured, you're not 100%, and you still find that way to go out there and do their thing. And we got my homie Meg on there on live on my TikTok. Want to make sure she knows.
I don't know if you guys can see this because I got my screen. If you can see my hand right here, you see right here, it's like a little webbing thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say my freshman year, sophomore year, college, the football went all the way through my fingers and it split the webbing. It split the webbing down here, right? So here's the thing, right? And you know how Marv, football players, I can see down in my hand. They took me inside, they put my hand on the top of this bucket, and they was putting saline on it. They got to clean it out. I'm going, right? They stitched me up, right? Here I am thinking, dang, man, I mean, they buddy take these bad boys. Listen, and that's the first practice. It's 2 days. This is college. Next day, I mean, later on that day, I'm outside. Think about this for a second. Think about what it said. Think about what it said to my teammates and to them young. I'm young myself, but to the ones come behind me saying, wait a minute, bro, you still going to practice? Boy, if I can walk, I can jog. If I can jog, I can run. But let's do it. What you mean? Because because my coach gonna say, dude, this ain't no torn ACL. And once again, Tommy Frazier, the great Tommy Frazier of Nebraska, his little brother Rod Frazier played at Florida. He played fullback. You know what Rod said to me? Man, ain't nothing but a little scratch. That joker showed me his fingers. They all like this. Come on, bro. I mean, I saw it. It's cool. He said that's cool and all. He said, come get some of this work though. And then he going up against it. I said, yeah, I think I can. So that's what I'm saying, man. Shout out to every athlete, male or female, who really, really love the game, man. Because some of us really love the game. Some of us just play the game. Don't get it twisted. And we share the same field. So Lindsay is saying, I do this for real, youngins. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Play with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I hope she's able to, despite it all, be able to rise up and get that goal. We'll see how it all plays out, but trying to stall a little bit here, but we'll see if Eric's going to get on before I try to jump into another topic here as it get to that point. But
how old is she? 37?
She's 41.
She's 41.
She'll be 42 this year. She'll be 42.
Yeah,
shout out to them 80s babies, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to us 80s babies, we unks too, Marv, you know what I'm saying? I know you got a couple of years, we all unks though, And listen, and to those people trying to hijack the word unk do not mean uncool. Shut the hell up. That is not what that means. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They stop.
I saw that on Facebook. I saw someone.
I'm just saying. No. Unk is a term of endearment, man. Like that's all it is. What's up, unk? Yep. What's up, OG? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like everything don't got to have a meaning behind it. Shut the hell up means exactly what I said. That means shut the hell up. That means be quiet. Go somewhere else with that nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it.
So, and I guess we'll get into a topic right here since I haven't seen Eric pop in the back yet. So, I gotta talk about this one, man. I gotta come at your boy LeBron neck, Marvin. I can't with him anymore. His nonsense, basically sitting there saying playing 82 games today is harder than it was playing 82 games in the 80s, in the 90s. I can't with him anymore. I love what he's meant to this generation. I love what it means to the game of basketball right now. That right there, that's why he's never going to be the GOAT. That right there.
When I saw that clip, I said somewhere Steven is going to see.
Yeah,
I was gonna put the clip in the back end, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go with the go with the graphic instead of the actual video. It is not it's not a somebody clipped them up in that and it's been edited. No, he said that. He really said that, people. Listen, I'm not gonna say that the game is the same as it was in the 80s and 90s, but it's harder. No. It's more exposure. The game is played behind the 3-point line more now than it ever was. There was more of an inside game in the 80s and 90s. So it was harder back then to play 82 games, if you're asking me, than it is now. Obviously, I'm not the athlete. I'm not on the court. I can't tell you what the load is. He is this generation's Iron Man. For all intents and purposes, I think up until the beginning of the season, LeBron had barely missed any games of basketball. outside of injury for type things, not just having games off for rest. So I don't know why he thinks this way or anything like that, but I just know what I've seen, how I've watched basketball, and I can't agree with that. Go ahead, Marvin. Go defend your boy. Tell me where I'm wrong, my friend.
No. Listen, I try to be objective. So when you first hear the comment, I think to myself, I need to hear more. I need him to explain what he means and why he feels that way. If there's anybody who's able to make such a crazy comment, it would have to be LeBron, the guy who's been in the league 20 plus years, the league's all-time leading scorer, one of the great faces of pro sports in the last 25 years. So if anybody had the leeway to make such a comment, it would be him. But I need to understand, why does he feel that way? Because listen, I was born in 76. Okay, I really started watching NBA basketball, college basketball when I was about 10 years old. So I'm watching 80s, 90s out the gate, and there was nothing easy about that league at all. This was a league of big men. This was a league of, it meant something to go into the paint. You were a certain type of player if you went into the paint. This is before the 3-point shot was sexy. This is collision basketball. This is contact basketball. This is elbows to the face. We can get into a fight and not be kicked out of the game. That was the NBA back then. You can get into a fight, throw punches, and you still stay in the game. Okay? So versus today, you look at Steph, man. Steph is amazing. I'm always asking myself, where does Steph rank on the all-time list at this point, considering how he's changed the game and the 3-point shot is everything now. And that's all Steph, right? And that's cool. But the game has changed so much now, and these dudes, I don't feel like the fans today and young players today have the same appreciation for that paint and paint play and how tough that is and how physical that is. But at the end of the day, when you look at all championship teams, they're good in the paint. They can shoot, but they're good in the paint. So I disagree with LeBron just on the face of what he said. Again, I would need to hear his reasoning for that. But listen, man, LeBron James is a human being, y'all. Okay. I think he's mentally tough. I think he's done a phenomenal job of being the leader in basketball, one of the leaders in pro sports, but he's a human. He hears the stuff, the rumors, and he has the internet. He knows that there's a debate out there. He knows there are people out there who question his career for different reasons. And sometimes you see him turn human. A lot of times he's just tone deaf, doesn't hear it, doesn't respond to it. But sometimes, he does. And I think this is part of that, But I would need him to explain that, because I thought it was very silly of him to say that. But again, I had to take a step back. It's LeBron. You got to give him a chance to explain himself. He's somebody. So, yeah, I don't agree with it. I didn't like it. I don't think it helps for all the people who think he's soft and weak, and it doesn't help that argument for him. And it's something that I'm waiting for more explanation of.
Ben.
Yeah, I would need more of an explanation too. But LeBron got to understand this too, man. You don't have to appeal to all the athletes in the NBA just because you're still the face. You don't got to say that stuff because you a lot of these young guys in the league know that you are the voice, right? What do you mean it's harder now? Guys make a lot more money now, and like you said, Steven, they like a lot more exposure. But LeBron, you still outperforming some of these guys. You 20 years older than. No, guys are given a pass for load management. They're allowed. Kawhi Leonard has shifted the narrative in the NBA because he the one started the load management stuff. And now I go, dude, you get 82 opportunities. You're a pro. You get 82 opportunities to go out there and get it done. Your knee's supposed to hurt. You're supposed to be what? You see Kobe after the game, he got the ice packs here on his shoulder. He got the ice packs on his knees. But he's also in the gym every day. Once again, I keep saying this. You got guys that play the game. You got guys that love the game. The problem is there's a bunch of them that's playing it. They say they love it. But if I'm paying a ticket to come see you and you ain't hurt and you like, hey, man, I just took one night off. Shame on the NBA for that. They shouldn't allow that. You mean you going to take a night off? No. No, because for every superstar in the NBA, there's a role player who would love to have them minutes, who would love to get out there and get buckets. So I respect LeBron and everything he's done, what he means to the game on and off the court, being a voice for the voiceless and all those type of things. But LeBron, yeah, you can't say everything you feel, brother. That's not true, right? That's not true, right? There are certain people that make basketball look easy, and it's a lot tougher for other people, right? But the game is the game. You get 82 of them. Let's rock. What do you mean? That's like going to training camp and complaining that your body is aching. Dude, it's supposed to hurt. If you ain't played football in 3 months and you go out there and run around and you don't feel nothing, your body is dead. You don't have there's nothing there. You need to go to the morgue. No, it's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to be a grind. Everything ain't gonna be complimentary. Everybody ain't gonna applaud you. And LeBron, let me tell you something. Stop getting people kicked out of games for what they said to you, man. They fans, man. I'm not condoning what they said, but don't be like you know what I'm saying? Because that's power, right? Don't do that, man. Like, LeBron is about as good of a basketball player as you ever gonna see. Like I say, there are certain people who will never see it again. You'll never see a Mike again.
He's a generational athlete. Ain't nobody can take that away from him.
Yeah, you'll never see a Kobe again. You'll never see a Shaq again. You'll never see an AI again. You won't see these guys, right? But when somebody asks LeBron, is the game easy today? No, man, the game is just grown. It is not easy. It is not harder today. It be harder. I remember when Lambeer and them saying, you come up in here with that. There's a reason why Steph has made it as long as he is. Steph, like, I don't mess with that paint. I don't mess with the paint now, and you could get in the paint. All this ISO play. That's why when people say, man, Isaiah Thomas was a different type of point guard. He had to go in the paint. He had to go in there. He couldn't just sit out there, right? That's back when guards had to guard. Hey, dude, I got to play defense. Could you imagine if they made NBA players play defense? They made them. Do you know you got to play defense, right? Like on the other end? Yeah. Why? I thought I'd just stand in front of them and hopefully. So, yeah, I don't think the game – I think the game is – I think the players now are very, very athletic. But the two guys that have shifted the narrative in the NBA is Steph with the three-point shot. It would be Kawhi Leonard with the load management and Dirk. Dirk is the reason why we don't have big men anymore. Everybody want to be a swing man. That's why 7-footers shoot threes. So Dirk is the one that shifted it. And what are you now, man? I'm a 6'10" point guard. If you don't get the hell out of here, you don't get down there. That stuff drop. That's why Wemby can bring the ball up at 7. Like I go, Wemby, dude, if you just get position, dude, like playing with your back to the basket. Do you know how much easier it is from like 6 feet compared to 15 feet? So I think Dirk shifted the whole because Dirk couldn't 7 feet, but he couldn't bang down low. So that 1 foot shot he had, but he birthed a whole generation. All these dudes, Joel Embiid, with his MVP behind out there shooting threes. You know what I'm saying?
He kills me. Listen, I love Joe. I love Joe, but there's a lot of times I'm like, why? Why are we just coming down the court and pulling up right from there, Joe? I can't. If there's like if you scheme him in that way, like as you're rotating it around the floor, it makes sense to me. But when Joe just comes down there and pulls up a three, it boils my blood almost. Because like, I mean, he's above 50% shooting, but like, come on, man, we need better than half. We need better.
That's the best offensive play we got. Our 7 foot 2 or 3 big man. Is that shoot threes?
I'm glad you mentioned Joe, because I do want to kind of pivot into something that happened this past week. You know, I did talk with Justin Monday night, but I want to talk to it about it with you. It's the whole Paul George suspension, right? Suspended for 25 games. You know, for breaking the NBA substance abuse policy. He's claiming that he was having a mental health issue, took something. Must have been on the ban list, but we're not getting any elaboration to what it is. You know, whether he smoked some weed, whether he took some Adderall or something along those lines. And even Charles Barkley said, you know, we don't need any players suffering from mental health, but this whole thing sounds fishy. The fact that it's 25 games, we know it wasn't a performance-enhancing drug, right? We can tell that just by the number of games he was suspended for. But if he was legitimately having a mental health crisis issue, whatever, and the NBA suspended him, for it, man. I'm gonna start with Ben on this one. What do you think? Do you think NBA did Paul George a disservice here, or are we just sitting there? Well, the rules are the rules, son.
I think it's both. I think they did him a disservice, and the rules are the rules. It do sound fishy, right? The NBA is just throwing this thing. Yeah, 25 games. What do you do? Well, they're giving us incredible word salad. What did he do? What did he take? Because the thing about it is, and here's the thing, right? They was like, dang, Paul George, he's still a big name in the NBA. Right? He ain't what he was, but he's still a big name. It does sound fishy. It does sound like, and if something comes out later, that's what I don't like. If something comes out later, well, we thought it was this, but it was really that. Well, what is it? 25 games is a lot of games. They do 25. The 25 games is so let me tell you how the NBA is really messed up. They'll do 25 games because that's enough games that in their contracts, a lot of times you get incentives if you make an all-NBA, first team, second team. Well, that's too many games to be eligible for an all-NBA. They did that to John Morant. When they suspended him enough games that he won't get his incentives because they know he's going to make an all-NBA team. It does sound fishy because when it came out, people was like first like that's crazy. Then it was like, okay, so what did he actually do? Like, I mean, if he suffered from mental health, which I believe he is, and he took something that was banned, what did he take? Like, what was it? Because the NBA is letting this man go for 25 games. I know more people now see Paul George as a content creator than a basketball player because that's what and I ain't mad at him. But yeah, it does seem fishy because the NBA, we understand that the NBA is about the players. It's the only league that's about the players. And you got a big name player and you suspended him for 25 games and you expect us to just go, okay, hope he gets better. Come on, man. Like, what did he like? Because if it is mental health and he's taking it for his mental health and it was prescribed by a doctor, maybe y'all got some on a banned list that shouldn't be banned. You notice you don't hear anything about weed anymore? See how that just went away? See how it used to be a big thing and it just went away? NBA, NFL, you don't hear about it because it never should have been on the list. People, you let the wrong people decide these, and just because something is on the rule books, didn't they just change the rule books because Bill Belichick didn't make it in the first ballot? See how they switching stuff? Because they added stuff for T.O. So tell us what he did. Tell us why you did the 25 and leave it alone. Because all this gray area, we got to fill in our own blanks. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. Come on now. Like the NBA, y'all can investigate yourself better than that. Yeah, we investigated. Paul George did something he shouldn't have done. 25 games. Don't ask us about it. What? Don't ask. James Harden got traded to the Cavs. You see what I'm saying? Let's get something else to push this headline down. I don't know, but I do agree. I don't agree with Charles Barkley a lot, but I agree with him with this. He does make a point because mental health is real, people. Like we don't. That's one thing that's as a former player, I wish that we had better stuff for us when we was even when you was that mob. Like it's real, man. And so whatever every player handles their mental health differently, and I ain't gonna judge it one way or the next. But if they indeed did suspend that man for handling his mental health, you didn't have to give him 25. So I don't know, but it's still a big question mark. So but the rules are the rules, whatever. But I don't think it's that serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't harming nobody. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. It ain't steroids. Come on, man. Stop it.
Marvin, your thoughts on this one, brother?
So let's assume that all things are true. It's a mental health issue. He took something just because he was having a mental health crisis or issue. And that was all and that's all that was there. If that's the way it is, then what it shows us is that the NBA is behind. They are behind in addressing mental health, identifying it, letting players know that it's a real thing that can come as a result of playing basketball and basketball lifestyle. So, the NBA would need to change that because at that point, it's a crime to the player. Again, we're assuming all things are true. And it's to be a crime to the player. And I think, when you see guys in the NFL commit suicide, when you see people who have, mental health issues just in society, do tragic things such as suicide, then, it makes you look at this thing differently. It really does. And I hate it, man. I hate it for Paul. I hate that he's dealing with this, going through this. I hate that it became a public situation where people don't understand, what he's dealing with, because that's a very private matter. People deal with this, all across the world, all across America, but they don't get put on blast for it. You know what I mean? And, the label that comes with this, he failed a drug test. And, I think, to be honest, what's really fishy and weird, now I'm flipping it a little bit here, what's really strange is, if I was Paul George, I would just come out and say what I'm dealing with and what I took. I would. I mean, it's nobody's business. Okay, it's nobody's business. But when you look at how this is being labeled and what's really going on, I think most people in the world would understand someone saying, "Hey, I'm dealing with a little bit of depression, things going on, my career, this and that." That's a human thing. We've all been through that. So we get that. And if this dude is self-medicating or taking just something that he got from a doctor, I mean, whatever it's going to take to help this young man get better, I don't see a shame in that. Ben said it. Weed isn't a thing anymore. You know what I mean? So in my mind, there's no way that he was banned from marijuana. I'm hoping that's not what that was. So, if I was Paul, I would come out and let people know. I think it validates the situation for him even more. Most people can identify with that. Self-medicating or depression, or just going through a rough time in life. Yeah, man, I hate the headline. I hate when I saw it, and I hope that Paul's okay and that the NBA makes some changes so that these brothers who going through something can deal with it their way.
Now, I'm glad that last part, the NBA needs to make changes, because my look at this is I'm making an example of Paul. That's how my look at this is, because like Marvin said, if we assume everything that's being said is being true, why are we suspending him for 25 games? Why not just 5, 10 games, 15 at the most? When you're knocking that many games off of his thing, it's hurting him more than it's helping him. Then you're going to leave him if he is having a mental health crisis. Now you're leaving him away from his teammates, away from his brothers, at home where he can't really do much with the team, to his own devices. You're isolating him. No. Like and as Ben said, we all deal with things in our own way. So maybe you do find a way to have some type of common ground and not punish him to that extent. Like I've already said, the fact that it's 25 games makes me believe that it wasn't a performance enhancer. If it's weed, Adderall, or anything to that effect, this is making an example, and I don't think this is the example the NBA wants to make. I really don't. So, but I do agree with Marvin that he needs to get out in front of this and do a little, even if you do a little presser where you're not even really taking questions, you're just kind of clearing the air of what was going on, what you were going through, and what you actually took to nullify any of these gray areas that could potentially be out there. So
Steve,
do hope. Go ahead, brother.
Man, listen, whether it's red wine, Xanax, marijuana, I think most people can identify with self-medicating, going through a tough time, and just, man, I need to get me a glass of that red. I need to get me a beer. I need to take, I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. I'm not even judging it. I'm just saying it is what it is. I think it's a big part of our culture, self-medicating in different ways. And, listen, you don't know the extent of what this brother was going through, man. He made me know we've all had dark days. We've all, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't crazy. It ain't nothing like that, man. Again, my heart goes out to this brother.
It's a messed up thing. And here's the other thing too, because now we're 2 days away from the trade deadline, something like that. We're within a week.
Tomorrow, I think it's the 5th. I think
exactly. So all right, so because let's be honest. We've been hearing a lot of rumors that Giannis is trying to get out there, and Philadelphia's been one of his destinations. I can almost guarantee you, Paul George was going to be a part of those conversations. Now, can he be traded now because he's suspended? I don't think so. I don't know all the NBA bylaws or whatever, but that hurts not only Paul but the Sixers in another way of being able to kind of improve their team over that next 25 game period because they're missing him. They're potentially they're more buyers this year than they have at any point in time over the last handful of years. As even Joel said that they were kind of pushing numbers because of the luxury tax situation, and that forced them to kind of make certain moves the way they did. That they had a little bit of freedom this year to actually be able to go and bring somebody in there. So you don't know how also that affects the Sixers as well. So it's an interesting thing. I'm going to be, obviously Ben had mentioned it, so I definitely got to bring it up. I think the Cavaliers are the favorites now, right? The fact that you just bring in James Harden to a team that was what that they were a game away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So. Like you have teams that are making moves, and it's gonna be interesting to see how James works out with the Cavaliers. But the East is more open now than it has been at any point in time in the last few years. Obviously, the Knicks won it. The Knicks almost won it there last year, right? They're still a team that's in contention. The Boston Celtics, they're missing a star. You have a couple teams that are missing their big star, so you having some moving around in the Eastern Conference. So, I think all of this really hurts my Sixers. I didn't have any expectations on this team going into the year. I'm gonna say that right now. But if they happen to land Giannis, and that apparently where Giannis wants to go is Philadelphia right now, as Ben says, that's cheating.
I mean,
listen, if you put Giannis with Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, the kid VJ Edgecombe, that's cheating.
I think the thing about yesterday, even what you just put up about James Harden going to the Cavs, what is going on with James Harden? Like what he's a superstar, right? And he can't find a place that'll keep him for an extended period of time. I mean, I'm just looking at me. Okay, I remember OKC, young boys on Houston, Brooklyn, because Houston it was supposed to be him and Dwight Howard. Brooklyn, it was him, KD, and freaking Kyrie. Not Philly.
Couldn't make that work. Came here to Philly, and that didn't work either.
The Clippers now the thing about James Harden, it will always be this. James Harden is a phenomenal basketball player. But James Harden, to me, is real similar to Carmelo. They're really, really good scorers. Incredible. I don't know how good they help their teammates. I'm not saying they're a bad teammate now. I'm not saying they're bad, but do they elevate their team around? And James Harden's problem has always been the postseason, hasn't it? That's when, we know what you do in the regular season, man, with the crossover left-handed beast. And then all of a sudden, we need you to be super. In the postseason, right, wrong, indifferent. I mean, it was big news. I mean, everybody thought that LeBron was going to get traded somewhere. He's going to finish out his year with the Lakers. Giannis saying he don't want to. I think they're trying to work that trade right now. Is Draymond Green, is he still with the Warriors or is he's still there? Okay. Yeah. I know that he's made it open. I know he's came out and said he want to play with LeBron, right? But yeah, the NBA trade deadline is always weird because it only matters if superstars get traded.
Let me ask you this one, both of you. Which one are you looking more forward to tomorrow? The NBA trade deadline or the Hall of Fame announcements? Because equally has their own bit of craziness attached to it. So let me ask you, Marvin first. Hall of Fame or trade deadline? Which one are you looking forward to most tomorrow?
Listen, football is king for me. But with so many great players on the line, I got to be honest, man. It's this NBA trade deadline is intriguing, but I got to go with the Hall of Fame. I got to see what these fools do. I mean that. I see what these fools do. They didn't already, I understand people mad at the Patriots, but come on, man. Bill Belichick need to be in the Hall of Fame right now. What are we talking about, people?
Ben, trade deadline or Hall of Fame?
Love the trade deadline because I like the big trade is always right before the deadline. It'll be 3:59. Oh, breaking news! It happened, right? But I'm like Marv, because these beat writers, do they want to be famous? Are they not? They ain't got enough. They ain't getting enough love. Oh, so my column ain't hitting the way it used to. I want to be the I want to be the one to say I kept. You know what's crazy? Yeah, why do people like Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft got to even be voted in? Why? You got to vote for them? I'm looking forward to it because once again, we gonna see who got voted in, and we gonna say, "Oh, he ain't get voted in. Oh, he ain't get voted in. Oh, he ain't get voted in." It is not the job of a person who never played the game in that sense to keep you're keeping a Hall of Fame. The crowning, that's Hall of Fame in a professional sport. That's the creme de la creme, man. And I'm gonna be looking to see. But let me say something. If Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, since they're not going to be first ballot Hall of Fame or whatever, then no coach is ever going to be a first ballot anymore. Don't even, no one. Not Mike Tomlin, not Andy Reid, not Pete Carroll, none of them. Not Sean McVay, none of them. Because Bill Belichick can give some of his Super Bowls away, and he still got more than most of these dudes. Come on, what are we doing? Robert
Here's
Kraft.
The other thing, all right, like to what you're saying, he's even if you take away everything he did before Spygate, right? Everything, right? He's still a Hall of Fame coach. He has almost double the wins that some of the greats have. He has over 318 wins. He's got triple the amount of Super Bowl wins that Don Shula does. Like,
you know what's crazy though? But Steven,
I broke it down for you guys last week, right? And I'm going to bring it up again. This is a disaster of the Hall of Fame's design. When you lump in the senior committee on top of coaches and the executive branches all into one category, this is what you end up with. So if you didn't do that a few years ago and lump them all into one category, we're not having this conversation anymore, right? I think there should be three different branches when we come to voting. There should be the senior committee all by themselves. There shouldn't be anyone lumped into there, right? You should have the coaches / executive branch as their own category, and your current crop that are eligible for 5, 10 years, whatever happens to be. That there should be 3 different votes for it, and
there should be a fourth. You should have current Hall of Famers have a vote. They should have a vote as well, because
I got one even better for you. So we don't have situations like Grandpa Poland sitting there, having his buddies that he's cool with to sit there and kind of put this thing together. Have a rotating door of voters. Have your rotating door of Hall of Famers. Have your rotating door of veterans. Have your rotating door of even journalists or writers that you do give the opportunity to vote. So you don't have this these people who may or may not have vendettas against somebody to be able to do this. If you keep changing it up every year, no one can sit there and.
Yeah.
And do we know who these people are? Like, do we know who has these votes?
I think it's a mixture of things. I think it's a mixture of no matter what it should be like the justice system. It should be a jury of your peers. Point blank and period, especially when it comes to football, right? It should be, NFL alumni, whether, NFL Hall of Famers. No, it shouldn't be anyone currently a coach, owner, or current player. It should be your NFL alumni, your Hall of Famers, and the people who played with them, whether they had Hall of Fame careers or not, should have the people who played the game so they know the sacrifices that this guy made.
I mean, and it should be a write-up too. The people who didn't vote for Belichick Listen, for Marvin Powell Sr., right? We should see your face. You know why?
Oh, it should be open. Whoever votes, it doesn't matter who it is.
Paul George,
whoever votes should be open to the public. It should
Paul
be open
George,
to
25 games.
And their vote, Steve?
Huh?
And who they voted for?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we should.
We're in an accountable age, right? We're in this where everything has to be held accountable. Everyone should be held accountable.
Yeah, I think we should. Life. You should have to. It's like this.
Explain it. Like we sit there, we're talking about having referees, referees being sent to the podium and explain their calls. Then the Hall of Fame voters should be sent to journalists, whatever, and explain this is why I voted this way, this is why I voted that way, this is why I kept this guy out.
Because you're gonna have to justify it. Like, listen, Dan Orlovsky going on the Pat McAfee show, getting called out by Pat McAfee about how his favoritism towards Josh Allen, right? Now, he didn't like it, but he was like, dude, you calling me out? Yeah, bro, because we got to hold each other accountable. That was a dumb statement. You saying you don't do this. You're a national analyst on national TV, and you doing this. And the reason why I think they should do that, Steven, is because I'm like, I want to hear you tell us why you didn't vote him in. Because sometimes when you say it out loud and you get crickets, that's how you know that was dumb. That's your reasoning, which means the same way a person's career had to make them eligible to be a Hall of Famer. What makes your career eligible to vote? How did you get that? How did you get your because some of us shouldn't have a vote. Some of us should not be voting on stuff because I guarantee you, when Lamar Jackson won, I think his second MVP, he wasn't unanimous because a beat writer in Buffalo voted for Josh Allen. See, it's stuff like that. I'm like, well, dude, I said, it's little things. So, yes, I want to see why you said no. And your no has to justify, or we're going to push you to the side for somebody else. And you should get a big, write-up on ESPN, all these networks to say, show his face. Oh, that's him? What is his social media handle? You should have to go through the same because you messing with somebody's legacy, man. You mean to tell me this dude right here that I'll never meet kept me out? Some dude in Idaho, name, I think it's crazy because it's too hard to even be in consideration for a Hall of Fame for anything. High school, college, pro, semi-pro, and then you telling me. So every offensive lineman you ever met said, yeah, man, this dude named Marvin Powell, man, he was crazy good, man. I mean, ridiculous. And some beat writer go, yeah, I went to UCLA. He wasn't that good. What the? And I'm telling you, this stuff happens. I don't like that, man. Because once again, no, bigger than that. Y'all got to call Marvin and tell Marvin why you said no. Marvin, you're wrong. Tell me, Marvin. When I saw your dad, you know what I'm saying? Because it's. You're robbing, the bloodline of what it really meant to this game. Because if Eli Manning last name wasn't Manning, he wouldn't be in consideration, but that bloodline serious. So you gonna put him in. People go, Eli ain't get in. Well, if he don't get in, that ain't a travesty. He won 2 Super Bowls. Well, Nick Foles won 1. But
I'm gonna say this much. Like my thing with Eli, I've already told you guys, he's 117 to start in the regular season. He's thrown more interceptions than games played in his career. Can we take the postseason out of the conversation, please? Can we please?
I will say this. I will say this about this. How I look at a career, and I could be wrong. If you've ever won MVP in the NFL, that means at one point in time you were considered the best player in it. That's it. That's Hall of Fame worthy. You want an MVP in the NFL? How you do that? With every player you want an MVP. Yeah, not offensive player of the year. MVP, right? Well, certain people say that means that Boomer Esiason and Rich Gannon, hell yeah, they won MVP of the league with Joe Montana over there, with all these players. Super Bowls cannot be the reason why you get in. That means
that's a team award. That's a team award.
Yeah, no. Malcolm Brown, right, won MVP of the Super Bowl when the Seattle Seahawks won. A linebacker Won it. Most people don't know who Malcolm Brown is. He was not a part of Legion of Boom. He was part of the Seattle Seahawks defense. He wasn't considered a part of Legion of Boom, right? With Bobby Wagner and Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman. What I'm saying is, you telling me I got to play the best on the biggest game of the year, yeah, and I can win MVP. When Santonio Holmes got an MVP, Hines Ward got an MVP. You know who never got a Super Bowl MVP? Ben Roethlisberger, and he played the three of them. So I'm saying I was in that draft class with Eli. But you cannot look like that in the regular season. He is the direct opposite of what Peyton Manning was in the regular season. He's the direct opposite. But because his last name is Manning, people think he's an MVP. But I'm like, has he ever been a first-team All-Pro, second-team All-Pro? No. Has he ever led the league in passing? No. Did he change the game at quarterback? No, he played in New York. What? He played in New York. That stuff, with that media market, like Odell Beckham Jr., that one-handed catch, they lost that game. They lost. Now the catch is crazy, but they lost.
Yep.
Right? When when AI crossed Jordan, when he crossed him, right there at the three, Michael Jordan had 47 and won that game. But listen to Mike them won that game. He had 47. I'm just saying, a moment in time can't be the reason why you get an MVP. Getting the Hall of Fame. You was an MVP. Like, you was an MVP. Think about this, Marv. If you was in the Super Bowl and you was an MVP as a fullback, you're like, dude, that's crazy. That's a Hall of Fame moment. That is a moment that is enshrined, right? But they're gonna say, all right, man, what you do in the regular season? Eli, I went 117 and 117. So even your career was subpar. I was just, you know what I'm saying? I was good enough to not be bad. That's what I was. But my last name is Manning, my dad's name was Archie, and my brother's name is Peyton. Oh, shoot, you the Royal family. Yeah. We like the Matthews. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. We like the Sharps, except both Shannon and Sterling did it in the regular season. I'm a Manning I beat the GOAT twice. So that should be Nick Foles beat him. Yeah, that's a little different. So he's probably gonna get in one day with the senior committee. It shouldn't be right now because Luke Kuechly played like 8 years. He had 7 first-team All-Pros, like 1 second-team All-Pro Defensive Player of the Year, and he ain't get in first ballot. Stuff like that. So I thought I knew what a Hall of Famer was, but I'm not a beat writer. So maybe I don't know what I'm looking at.
Man, when I hear both of y'all talk, man, I recognize that with the voters, we wanted to hope that they could be, professional and non-biased and objective. And the reality is they human beings too. You know what I'm saying? They get emotional too. They got feelings too, and those feelings bleed. It is true. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? They got their own morality laws in their head. And, this guy deserves it. This guy doesn't. And that's the unfortunate part of the process, man. The human element is what really messes it up. Because Ben, you're right. When you see a guy like Luke, how can he not be a first ballot guy? You know what I'm saying? Like if he's not as a player, who is? You know what I'm saying? So I get that, man. I do. The unfortunate reality is I don't think we ever come to the day of true transparency where these voters are going to be obligated to acknowledge who they voted for. I think if anything, that probably forces them to make, popular decisions. And that becomes an issue. So it is what it is, man. It's an unfortunate process that we see a lot of players and coaches who are worthy just not be able to get in or get in first time or get in when they should. But, again, you add the human element to anything and, it's going to get a little bit skewed, man. So it's tough, man. And as for your boy, Eli, Ben, I'm with you. I'm with you 100,000%. Listen, man.
If you got to think about it, when we say Roger Craig, that's a travesty, right? That's a travesty that he's not.
Yeah.
When we say Eli, you do this. You just said somebody go, Eli, man, you go.
Yeah.
If you're not sitting back in your chair to say
the same.
You're saying, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they was giving out steaks and they said, man, what you got, man? We got the Eli. Like, that's all you got. Hold on, baby. You want it? That's all you got. You see what I'm saying? Because that's not a prime, cut of meat. It's a Manning, but it's not a prime cut of meat. You ain't got no payers, man. They stay sold out. They gone, man. we can't even get him in. We got some. Like I said, this Eli's pretty good, man. I don't know, man. I heard it make my stomach hurt. Is it a ribeye? Is it filet? What is it? It's like you got to debate, and that's what I'm saying. And people are saying, "Well, Ben, why is that important?" Because Cam Newton won MVP, right? If at your very best, what are you? I'm the MVP of the league. But did you win it? Yeah, I won it. You won MVP? Yeah. You went 15-1 with Ted Ginn Jr. as your number one receiver. Yeah. Man, stop playing. You see what I'm saying? Look, like you said, Marv, I think you make a great point. The human element is a part of it, but you're not supposed to mess it up either, though. Like, I'm a part of this, right? But I got to know how to get out the way. I got to say, look, I'm supposed to say I didn't agree with a lot of his stuff he did, but we're talking about what he did on the field. Bad man. Look, I don't agree with it. I don't pick nothing New England, Boston, none of that. But I can respect what they do. I can respect the Celtics. I can respect the Yankees, but I don't like to do it. But you see what I'm saying? You don't.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. And then when you with your MVP talk, I mean, listen, people don't understand. For me, that's the highest award you can get amongst all the major sports in America, because to go 16, 17 games and to be him for most of them games when you probably the most targeted dude on the field and you still out here making plays week after week, there's no accident in MVPs. There's no fluke in MVPs at all. The level of consistency required for you to be able to win that award is so high that if you win that, then that says you were dominant. It says you were dominant.
Hold on. And think about this, Marv. Just say, Marv, you won MVP in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
But listen, you a humble, mild manner, easygoing dude, man. Just meek, man, chill. And you at an event, and somebody go, man, what's your name? They say you Marvin Powell, right? And that person go, you go, yeah. And somebody go, they go, no. That's MVP, Marvin. Do you want, like, sometimes people like, do you want MVP out of all the players in the NFL? Yeah, you were the best one. Yeah, for 1 year, I was the best player in the world. For 1 year. Now, some of them, Brett Favre did it 2 times, and all. Some guys, they that good. But people go, and people say, he only got one. What the hell? What you mean he only? One is enough. I just saw a video of Rich Gannon talking to John Gruden. I said, that's Rich Gannon, whole head white. You know what I'm saying? Right? But here's the thing, though. Rich Gannon went to a Super Bowl when his starting receivers was Jerry Rice and Tim Brown. That's hard to do. The older dudes got beat by the young squad. 2002, Derrick Brooks and them, they were still kind of, they wasn't as old. They still kind of, they got beat by a bunch of young dudes. They said that John Gruden played Rich Gannon in practice. Think about this. He's playing Rich Gannon, not a paid professional. The head coach is saying, this is what he's going to do. This is what he's going to do. Because, Steven, Marvin, do y'all remember who was the MVP of the 2002 Super Bowl? I do. Y'all remember who was the MVP?
The DB. Yeah.
Think about this. Not John Lynch. Not Simeon Rice. Not Warren Sapp. Right? Not Derrick Brooks. Dexter Jack. You know why? Because they kept throwing it to him. He just standing here like this. Come on, Rich, throw it to me. So MVP in the NFL, I'm gonna start saying that the most prestigious award in sports.
100%
is the MVP in the NFL, because that means my body held up for 17 weeks, and I outperformed mostly every player and team I was on that whole year. And this is what they gave. That's forever. So when people say, why Cam Newton act like that? Because at the top of his game, he's an MVP. At the top of his game, he's an MVP. You know what Drew Brees doesn't have on his resume, people? Drew Brees has never been the MVP of the league. He was Offensive Player of the Year.
But we agree Drew is a dog out there.
No. Drew is him. Listen, Drew Brees. Okay. Drew Brees is the reason why Nick Saban went back to college. Because remember he was down in Miami, and the trainers told Nick Saban, his ankle ain't good, man. He can't pass his physical. He said, you sure? Yeah. They say he flew to New Orleans. And Sean Payton said, He looking at the trainers like this. We finna have a closed door meeting. I don't care what y'all got to do. He better pass his physical. He passed it. Rest is history. So, but Drew Brees is the dog. I don't want the Drew Brees fans thinking, yes, he's a Saint and I'm a Falcon. And y'all know how that go. But I respect this. Drew Brees is football royalty. That is football royalty right there. I don't want these because there's a couple of New Orleans fans sprinkled here in Atlanta. I know where you live too, sir.
Listen, I don't disagree with you there, especially the Drew Brees is probably one of the best quarterbacks that's not named Tom Brady over the last decade and a half.
Is he number 2 in yards? Is Drew Brees number 2?
I believe so. I believe he's about 2. He's about second in just about every category because Tom's first in just about every category.
Yeah,
but I do want to talk about a few things that happened this week that came to light, and we touched on it a little bit last night, and I wanted to kind of get into it, and we talked about it a few weeks ago on here. The Rooney Rule is an absolute joke anymore. It's a joke from top to bottom. The fact that and even Mel said, a quarter of the league's jobs came up, and not a single black coach was hired. We're talking about Brian Flores. Well, why hasn't Byron Leftwich gotten another job interview? He's been an offensive coordinator for a few years for a couple different teams. It's disheartening on some levels, just because we the three of us already agreed the Rooney Rule is an absolute joke. It's a farce at this point in time, right? We all got teams that has all got their guys that they want, they like, that they would rather have in the job. I guess I'm going to start off with Marvin on this one. If you had to put an opinion to this, and you felt why this particular season we didn't get this particular hiring cycle, we didn't get a African American coach. I don't even think there was one that even went in for a head coaching interview during this cycle either. So
yeah, I mean, you don't know who was interviewed, who wasn't sometimes. But listen, really what it comes down to is these owners, let's call it for what it is. These older white men, in many cases, they don't really have, a lot of these people, they don't have a lot of relationships like you would think, even though their employees, their teams are 75% African-American. They're not rubbing shoulders and hanging out and getting, ideas from men of color. I think it comes down to just a lack of awareness, a lack of who's around you. I think they feel more comfortable, getting recommendations from the people who are in their circle, and the people who are in their circle are probably not African-American. You know what I'm saying? And I think it comes down to just what you're comfortable with. And that's unfortunate, man. The Rooney Rule, there was obviously the right intentions. You hate to get to the point where you have to mandate, that you at least consider, hiring people of color. But that's the reality of where we were. That's the reality of where we are. It's hard to believe that in a league that has so many black players that none of them can ascend to the ranks of head coach at a faster or better rate. That's insane. It's crazy when you really look at it and you break it down. And in this case here for this year, there were 9 opportunities. Pretty much a third of the league was open, and none of these teams felt that there was any African American that could fill that role. I have a hard time believing that. I just think that we deal with older owners who are from a different generation, and the old school of thinking is still in play. The good old boy network, whatever you want to call it. I think a lot of it really is just like I said before. They haven't put themselves in a position to be impacted, by someone's voice who's a person of color. And then, it's like that, man. I think there are real divisions in America, in the workplace, and the network of who and who knows you and who likes you. That has a lot to do with it. As opposed to what your resume is, so yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It is. And time, you gotta give it time, I guess. I don't even know, considering that the Rooney Rule's in place, like I don't even know, like, what do you do now? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the kind of guy, I'm for smaller government, not more government, but I also see just reckless and intentional behavior, which requires oversight, you know what I mean? Which requires someone needs to say something here. So, it's what do we do? I don't know. But it's a tough call, man. And I hate that this is what's going on.
Ben.
Yeah, familiarity. As Marv said, proximity, right? And let's just call it what this really is. If you don't see my value as a decision maker, you only see my value as entertainment, nothing's going to switch. The decision makers wear suits. The entertainment wears jerseys. And when you start talking about, and here's the thing, I think another thing's not being talked about. Mike Tomlin scares these owners to death. These other 30, they're like, that dude did that. Yeah, he was there that long. Yep, they didn't fire him. Nobody walked away. 19 years. 19 years. One dude. Is that saying that every black dude gonna do that? Nope. That's saying that he has the capability of doing that. Right team, right scheme. Look at the result. If you put it, and the thing that keep puzzling me about all this is like this. What are the owners not seeing? Like, what is it? It's almost like, look, I don't got time to sit you down and give you a black history lesson, sir. I'm just telling you, just don't not hire me because I'm a black. I don't want you to hire me because I'm a black dude. That's crazy. But it sounds like you will hire a white dude because he's a white guy. It ain't because they keep getting recycled. Jim Schwartz really think that he was going to be the head coach of the Browns. They got an attitude. Number one, Brown. Now to the Haslam family, y'all kind of disrespectful too. Like the nerve of y'all. Sorry, Jim. We're gonna go another way. But that's kind of why me and Marv say what we say. It ain't because we black guys. It's because we can see what's happening in plain sight. You're recycling coaches that ain't never been good. Forget they ain't never shown no promise. Josh McDaniels was supposed to be the head coach of Indianapolis coach. You know why a lot of people don't remember that? Because he got to Indianapolis, took his jacket off, and said, signed the contract and said, no, I don't want to do this. Went back to New England, became an OC. Did that hurt his chances of even getting jobs in the NFL? No. I think the thing about it is we got to get past this. Hey, dude, you got to be thankful if they give you an opportunity. Who the hell said I'm not thankful? I got to do it publicly? Thank you, sir, so much for this opportunity. I mean, forget the fact that, I'm the best at what I do, at my coordinator position. Thank you. Is that a good one? Can we put that out on social media? It's like we got to get past this thinking that we can only play the game. And look, you an owner, you do what you want. It's your team, you do what you want, right? Jerry Jones can talk all he wants. You think Jerry Jones going to hire a black guy as a head coach? Nope. Right? And the question is, why? Not that you have to, but why? And it's like we said about Paul George. Put it out, Paul, so the world can put pressure on the NFL to force them to tell it. You put it out, we'll do our part, right? But it is 2026. I can now to credit the Rooneys. Now they put their money where their Art Rooney rule was with Mike Tomlin. Now, so they did do it. They did do it. But Eric Bieniemy, we hadn't seen or heard from him since he left Kansas City. Byron Leftwich won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. Let's see. David Canales was the offensive coordinator for the Bucs when Byron Leftwich. He the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Liam Cohen came behind him. Dang, he the head coach of the Jaguars. So the two guys that came right behind Byron Leftwich both got head coaching jobs, and neither one of them won Super Bowls. I don't know what it is. I don't want to speculate, but until you tell me why, that's all I can do, speculate. All I can do is go, once again, we got this fill in the blanks. They being, why you think they won't hire guys? I say, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I say because you would think that more white head coaches in college will understand their demographic. Yeah, they don't. They don't, and they've been benefiting from these people from eons ago. I just don't get it. And it's almost like if you are and how much pressure do we put on the black coach that become a head coach? Do you see they can't wait to get rid of him? I mean, he ain't get it done. You remember Sean Garrett? Yeah. What did he do with Dallas? I mean, nothing. and he was there for. And all I'm saying is, Coach Thompson, the old head coach of Georgetown, right? I agree with him. Look, he said, I think the measuring stick should be the same. Don't measure black guys against other black guys and head coaches. Measure black guys against mediocre white guys. Do that. Because if we do that, they don't keep their job too long. You can't fire them. And I'm not saying that everybody's mediocre. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying, though, it's a slap in the face to Brian Flores. Right? It's a slap in the face to Van Joseph. Stop showing him. He got to be up for a head coaching job. Who's the owner? Oh, same owners, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but the only thing that can happen is you're gonna have to get a black owner that's majority owner. Because we got, hey man, how he get in here? This is the owners meeting. Oh shoot, he got a key. Yeah. And he comes in, and then he get to sit back and listen, because these conversations, something is going on, but it's all about who you're familiar with. And I get it, but is this about winning? It's about winning, right? No, it's about familiarity. I mean, I got to be around who I'm comfortable with. What the hell are you talking about behind closed doors? You saying something that you probably shouldn't be saying. And I'm not calling nobody nothing. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying, when it comes to this thing, right? Talk to DeMaurice Smith, who used to be over the PA. You should listen to his interview. They say, dude, he say, the NFL is ran like America, through power and control. That's how it's run. And I just hope that I hope that if these black men get a chance to be head coaches, I just hope they give it a fair shake. Even if it's places like Cleveland, Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Because Nick Sirianni is half what he's doing and half where he's at. He's in Philly. You see that type of culture right there? Mike McCarthy is finna let us know what type of culture is in Pittsburgh. Because before him, this culture is the greatest, right? 3 head coaches. But the question would ask, why would you get a Mike McCarthy? He won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl back when we had DVDs and MP3s. That's when he was winning. What? Here come that recycle. Hey, man, who can we get that's already done it? Pete Carroll, head coach of the Raiders. Why? Nothing against Pete, but why? See what I'm saying? So, hey, man, Coach LaFleur, little brother, Kubiak's son, head coach. Hey, I ain't mad at them. I'm just saying, why we can't see talent is talent, right? Production is production, right? Well, it depends. Like it depends on where the production is coming from. You know, I mean, when Josh Allen won the MVP last year, he was a second team All-Pro. Who was the first team All-Pro? Lamar Jackson. Who put up better numbers? Lamar. Why didn't they give it to him? I'm just saying, when we dig deeper, it's farther than just the head coach and the owner. Listen, black and brown and people of color, our culture is strong as hell. It's nothing we can do about it. We're not going out of our way to be a certain way. We just are the way we are. That should not be intimidating. I don't get it. It's Marv. We might have to do a deep dive. Might have to go to Princeton to see if we can get some of them kids to research it in Harvard and Yale. And people say, why Harvard and Yale and Princeton been? Because they're not going to respect anything. They're not going to respect SC in Florida. They'll respect Harvard and Yale. As if to say people at Harvard and Yale can't be dumb as hell too. See what I'm saying? They're going to respect the name. So we'll see. We'll see.
And you know, we're talking about culture, and you were just talking about Philadelphia. And as we're on this thing, I'd be remiss not to mention it that the Eagles have the most games started by a black quarterback, and it's not even close. Like, I think the only team is closer is your Oilers / Titans. They're been with Warren Moon and Steve McNair. So like you know, you can't be afraid to put these guys in the position, because you're going to be surprised at how well they do. You know, we've already seen that, you know, as we were just talking about the black coaches, we've seen it with Mike Tomlin. We've seen it with D'Amico Ryans. We've seen them succeed in these situations. So it's not like, I don't know if it's, what you're comfortable with, who's in your ear, whatever the case may be, but you guys have to do better than this. The NFL needs to do better than this. The owners need to do better than this. The people that are their assistants in their ears need to be better at this. Like it's again, like we said it's laughable at this point in time, but we can, as Ben was sitting there saying, we can only assume what it is at this point in time because you're not telling us why not.
Listen, I remember being a kid and just listening to football commentators talk about the quarterback position and how they describe that position versus other positions. And I remember, and I'm talking about, this is like mid 80s. Okay. The quarterback was smart. The quarterback was a leader. The quarterback was, mentally tough and all this kind of stuff. And you also recognize that the quarterbacks that they were talking about were always white, well, I think, and then the players who were receivers and DBs, they had quick feet. That was a real thing. That was a real narrative that you heard over and over again with football commentators. Okay, so we've evolved that. Now, obviously, we do have some black quarterbacks who are doing well. Some of the best in the league. That's. I think we've moved past that. But where that conversation has evolved to in leadership is coaching. So it's one of those things where it's like, we've had a couple of brothers coach who did well, had good careers, respectable careers, but still we're not where we need to be, and listen, as this thing moves on, that will change. I think we have to continue to call it out for what it is, but it will change. I mean, just, things evolve. It's unfortunate that we have to even be in this position and that we find ourselves in this position, because it speaks so much about the reality of our society, but people ignore that. Man, it is what it is, y'all. They're doing it, on Front Street in plain sight. They ain't hiding it. They, what I'm saying, this is what they think about you.
But hold on, bro. You might be, you really might be on to something with that, because it's funny, right? Like, and maybe you do this too. Bill Polian. We can't even talk about Lamar Jackson, how he's a glorified running back, and I'm like, the guy that won the Heisman at Louisville is a glorified running back? Yeah. Okay. So let me get this straight. He was considered the best player in college, yeah, at quarterback, yeah. But he's a what? He's a glorified running back. I said, wait a minute, wait. I go, what would you rather have, a quarterback that could just throw or a quarterback that can throw and run? I would want to do a threat. I think I would want to. And I think in 2025, I think it was a record. I think it was like 16 starters. I think by like 60, half the league, I think, was black quarterbacks to start the season this year. But them narratives work, boy. Oh, them narratives work. They keep on saying it. What you mean, man? He ain't as, the NFL had a concussion settlement. They did race norming. Oh, so now my brain ain't even functioning right because what does a black brain look like? It ain't as smart. You sure? I'm telling you, this stuff goes so. And the thing about these owners is they don't have to bend. That's what they don't have to adjust, because people are gonna assume I hired him. I said, well, dude, I mean, it's just like, I just want to know what it is. Because if you know what it is, the reason why they're not gonna reveal it is because they know if they tell us what it is, we can overcome it. I can't reveal what it is, because if I do, and Jalen Hurts get a different level of scrutiny. I'm not saying he get a different level of scrutiny because he got melanin in his skin. I'm saying you would think he's done nothing compared to Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. And these guys have done nothing compared to what he's done. But when Josh Allen wins, he's a man. And when he loses, it's everybody else. When Jalen Hurts wins, it's because of who he got around him. And look at his team. Of course he's gonna. And I go, wait a minute. Dalvin Cook, all pro. Saquon Barkley, all pro. Had Stephon Diggs, all pro. AJ Brown, all pro. Dawson Knox and all those. I'm just saying it starts and ends with the narrative for me, because Stephen and Marvin. If you talking about a quarterback without you even saying how he look, I can tell you what color he is just from the narrative. And I should be able to do that.
Well, let's throw the monkey wrench in here. Then why don't we see Patty Mahomes be treated in that way?
Because his skin is light. They feel more comfortable with him. I'm just telling you. Think about this. You wouldn't even. I'm gonna give you a little nugget. When they did the whole I'm Trayvon Martin stuff, they didn't think that Patrick Mahomes was gonna do it, and he did it. Roger Goodell, them like, no, he's not gonna do that. He got a white wife. He's a black dude. Look, Steven, these type of conversations to me need to be had more, not because it's February either. It's because it's the freaking truth. It's almost like this. When me and Marvin talk to our young boys, our sons, the conversation is different. Because our sons say, Dad, that kid ain't as good as me. We got to go, yeah, son, I know. That's the hard part you're going to have to get. Daddy, but I know. You see what I'm saying? It's like, Arch Manning ain't even that good. And he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. Why? Why is Arch Manning? Oh, that's a man. Even the people going to get it. That's why he came back. I could come back to Texas because I want to win a national championship. What would Texas know about winning that championship in 2005? Boy, was you even born in 2000? Anyway, I'm just saying this situation that goes on when you start talking about the owners and the coaches and the different things. It's mentality, man. It's this good old boy. You know, I ain't been to a country club yet. So the people that think, man, you just mad, I don't give a F about it. That food probably ain't even good. Like, I ain't mad at people that get in the country club. But Marv, this has happened to you. Marv, we get in the NFL, we heard about all this stuff. We go to these parties, we go, what is this? Is this what y'all be? Maybe it's just me. You know what I'm saying? You like, bro, like, they be like, how was it, man? Kevin, y'all really look like that. Like, you know, little black stuff. You got to take it and put it on a cracker. I only ate it because they looking at me. I'm like, what the bro, give me that. I'm telling you, no one's jealous. I think people think, B, y'all just mad. Mad at what? We're not mad. We just want to know what's up. Van Joseph's wife thinking, baby, this is it, right? How did it go? I mean, they said they liked me, man, but you know. They had about 3 dudes in the freaking lounge, in the freaking waiting room when I came out. Send the next one in, Van. LaFleur. And they want to see you. I'm just saying, because at a certain point, I can see black coaches turning it down. Hey, man, bro, I don't want to be the token one either now. Don't give it to me to try to balance it. Because they said that's what Eric Bieniemy was doing. They said he had the nerve. I said, listen, Eric Bieniemy say, bro, you know how many Super Bowls I won? I'm not coaching the Browns, bro. You think I did all this to go over there? Think about this, though. Mike McCarthy is the coach of the freaking Steelers. And you wonder why people get mad. Mike, out of everybody you could have picked, not a hot shot coordinator, Mike McCarthy. And he's sitting there like, man, I grew up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Man, shut the hell up. You ain't finna do nothing, man. And they say he might bring back Aaron Rodgers. Hey, if I was in the coaching tree, they wouldn't like me because I'll tell the truth. I said, look, man, I'm saying, listen, since y'all not gonna hire me, could you at least tell me why? Because my partner Marv outside. I at least want to let him know what he finna walk in here with. What? I'm gonna tell him. Tell him what? That y'all BSing. And it's a nice suit too, bro. I got this tailor-made to come in here with y'all. This Tom Ford, bro. You gonna do me like that? I could have stayed. We could have did this on Zoom, StreamYard, bro. You ain't have to have me come all the way down here for this. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. But I do know that the more we're in positions of leadership, that's why I respect what you do so much, Marv. You know, you tell it. We didn't grow up wanting to be owners and head coaches. We want to be players. That's why we're so good at it. If we just switch it. Hey, man, why ain't y'all? No. We want in front office positions. We going to F it up. In a good way, though. If we switch it a little bit, if we take half of us, we going strictly front office, strictly management. Because we can't just be the head coach. We also got to be GMs. You don't want to talk about it, presidents, decision makers.
We have perspective now.
Now I'm sitting next to the owner, and he's saying, okay, so what is that? When they say that's just a term of endearment. Because a lot of it is misinterpretation too now. That stuff gets misinterpreted. So how does his hair do like that? That's called locks. He locked his hair at the top. That's why it just grow. It's like, because they don't even, so they got, that's coaching. He got goals in his mouth. He's from Miami. But he from Detroit. But Marshawn Lynch, he's from the town. Why they call it? That's Oakland. I'm telling you, we got to be in these rooms just so you go, oh, okay. So the whole time, I said, when I was a freshman in college, a guy walked in the dorms and he rang the fire alarm because he smelled smoke. Right? Everybody comes out the dorms. The girls come out the dorms. Somebody was getting their hair hot combed. Now he smelled smoke. He smelled something burning. Now he wasn't wrong, but if he understands culture, he know what he's smelling. See, it's as simple. It be some small nuances like that, but that'll keep a person from getting hired. That'll keep somebody. Well, I'm sorry. What am I saying? That'll keep the black guy from getting hired. Because Baker Mayfield, y'all saw him running from the police before he got drafted. Where he got drafted at? He went number 1, didn't he? He was on tape running from the police. Lamar Jackson, they had to come back up into the first round to get him a 32nd overall pick. Maybe I'm losing it. I'm about to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing. I don't know.
Do want to say Eric did message me, apologize, asked if we could reschedule. So
yes, tell him we can tell that young man we understand, man. He got a lot going on.
Yeah. And
and Marv, that's what we're gonna do, Marv. We're gonna start a search saying, fellas, let's start telling our sons and the next generation. Tell their friends that's their best friends that don't play football but support them. You the upper man. You in the office. You the upper management kid. Why? Because people don't like LeBron because he played 20-some years. They don't like him because he got Maverick. Maverick is the reason why his off the field looked the way it looked. Because Nick Saban was gonna start a show called The Shop. He was gonna start another show Nick Saban was gonna have a show in the barbershop. The nerve. Anyway. And they said that Nick Saban said you could have the same show, different shows, but the same name. LeBron people said, nah, that's taken. He like, I'm gonna still try it. Did he do it? They said, dude, you can't afford it. I know you can afford LeBron lawyers, but he got lawyers. You don't want to do that. So,
well, I got about 5 more things I want to kind of get through. I want to see if we can kind of get through this, right? I don't know if you guys heard or seen this, but did you know Floyd Mayweather is in the middle of suing Showtime, saying he was cheated out of millions of dollars via him and his former lawyer / agent?
I didn't see that, but listen, Floyd needs his money, man.
I'm trying to tell you, money made. I can see that.
Floyd went out there and gave you great performances. You know what I'm saying? He was Showtime for real, in my opinion. I'm a Floyd fan. Really respect what he did and how he went about his business and prepared for every fight and always put on a good show. And he made a fortune. He earned
apparently
that.
And he apparently
I'm about to say, if they was giving him so hold on, didn't Floyd have a check for like $100 million after a fight or something crazy?
Then he showed Max Kellerman after the fight. He showed him $100 million.
Them pay-per-view buys. Floyd, I added to your millions. I bought a couple of fights. I ain't gonna lie. But if you owed me 150 and you gave me 100, nah, bro. Because you know why Floyd really doing that on Marvin, Steve? Let's take it the other way. Could you imagine if he was stealing from them?
Right.
They would have sued him for the money that they gave him, man. So get your money, Floyd, get double and triple. Own a portion of Showtime.
Yeah. I mean, it's the one thing I hate about combat sports. It's this part of it. It's that the fighters gets F's no matter what. They put their mind, body, and soul on line for these fights, and 9 times out of 10, regardless if it's the level fighter Floyd is, or the co-headliner, the guy on the undercard, whoever. These guys do not get paid what they're worth. And then even when they do negotiate something, even if you're watching this, even the guy that was getting paid millions, they're still finding ways to screw with them. So I do hope Floyd gets recouped whatever was taken from him via Showtime, via manager, lawyer, whatever the case may be. But it's just it's the dirty side of combat sports, man, and it's not delegated just to combat sports. This happens across any of the 4 major sports, and then everything in between. 9 times out of 10, the owners, the people dishing out the checks, that they holding on to every penny they can, and if they can find ways to pinch it out of you, they gonna keep it. And this is what we were talking about guaranteed contracts with some of these athletes. And I think that we expect the athletes to hold up their end, but when it comes back to the other end, for some reason or not, the shoes on the other foot, and that's not how things work. So I hope Floyd buries him, and like Ben says, I hope he owns Showtime.
Okay, yeah, I said I'll give me ownership stake in it. What you mean, Joe?
Well, because we talked about this before, man. As of right now, there is none of the major networks is holding on boxing events. Not Showtime, not HBO, not ABC Sports, not CBS Sports. So for the first time since the mid 1900s, rather, that we do not have professional boxing on terrestrial television. It's insane. It's insane. So
Got to get that heavyweight division back right. That's the one that used to do it for them other weight classes, man. With the Riddick Bowles and the Mike Tysons and the Vander Holyfields. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you want to see them big guys. I know we had Deontay Wilder, but hey, man, he was a knockout artist. But hey, I hope it does come back. And Floyd, get every dollar, get every cent. That man, he was missing Showtime, man. Stop, Floyd Mayweather. Stop playing.
Yeah, man. They wasn't telling him about all those HBO, all those pay-per-view purchases, man. You know, I mean, they left a few off the table.
His lawyer said,
yeah, they found him. Yeah,
his lawyer said, we punched them numbers, bro. I know. They said, what if I told you it was double that? Well, stop playing. Yeah, man.
The dirty side of combat sports, it pops out every so often, and unfortunate, it's not relegated just to the smaller fighters. Even the big name guys are getting bent over. And Floyd, go get your money, my man. Go get your money. Couple more football topics I kind of want to get to. Now, this past season, we've seen Cam Little right in the middle there, broke one of the what was thought to be one of the unbreakable records as the longest field goal, right? So when we're looking at this list, do we think any of these things are gonna be done? Derek Thomas, most sacks in the game, right? Autogram, consecutive championship appearances. Buccaneers, the longest winning streak. You got Jerry Rice career yards, Don Hudson most points scored in one quarter. You got a couple fun ones in there. What are outside of this list? Are there some of the ones that you feel is unbreakable? I mean, I don't think anyone's going to touch any of Jerry Rice's records, because even after the age of 32, he still put up amazing numbers. So I think Jerry's probably one of those guys on that list, and it don't matter what happens. I don't think anyone's gonna ever touch that.
I mean, Bruce Smith with 200 sacks, ain't nobody doing that. I know he got the most sacks in NFL history with 200. I'm trying to think of a record ain't nobody gonna touch. I mean, ain't nobody gonna get Emmitt Smith rushing record, man. You ain't gonna get that many. I know that Derrick Henry is nice, but you won't get. I don't think he's gonna get it. He gonna try.
He's at 12 now. He needs to get to 18.
Yeah.
And he's already 32, 33 now.
Yeah, I think he's 30, 31, something like that.
So Brett Favre consecutive games.
Yeah,
he's the Iron Man of football.
Yeah,
obviously, I think that's one of the things that Eli Manning missed out on. I think if he probably would have stayed another year or two to go after Brett, because he had I think he was well over 200 games when he retired. I think if he stayed on just a little bit more and had that under his belt, we were just talking about how he's not there. That would have gave him some of the cachet to probably have him in that argument. But Brett Favre's consecutive game streak in the NFL is beyond amazing, considering what we know how hard this game is. When he played, he didn't have any rules to protect him or anything like that. And we all know how he did it now. Battling addiction, for all intents and purposes. But man,
I mean, how many games was it consecutively for Brett Favre?
A lot.
check that.
A lot.
It's at the bottom of the list, but I can't seem to see it on here. Hold on.
Yeah. You know, when you consider that the quarterback is the most targeted person on the field, every defense is designed to attack the quarterback. And you had said, Steve, this is before they had any rules about head-to-head and collision and, protecting the quarterback. That didn't exist. You put some dirt on it and you get back out there, And, this dude, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, it's almost 300. It's 297 consecutive real games.
It's a lot.
Now, here's another crazy one. If you include the postseason, it's 321.
Yeah, look.
Why wouldn't you include the postseason? I don't understand that.
Because I think you can include it because it wasn't consecutive, because there was postseasons that he did miss, even though that he was doing the same thing. So,
man, listen, if you know what I know, and you play in that box, and you play damn near 300 games as the most targeted.
When you talk about what every player respects, people saying, man, how many years is this? How many drafts is that? How many coordinators is that? Dude, that's a lot of. That's the Cal Ripken Jr. stuff. You start comparing that stuff in football game, man. That's and let me say this. That's regardless of what you did. He was still putting up numbers, right? But dude, you still starting? Yeah, dude, I was starting Tecmo Bowl. What? I went from Tecmo Bowl to Madden. Still doing it. Listen. He's the reason why Aaron Rodgers didn't play football till he's like fourth year in the league. He ain't even played.
Yeah, it was.
Jordan Love didn't play football.
Aaron Rodgers was getting very impatient. I remember the talks they were debating on whether they would trade him, and then it wound up. I guess there was a conversation internally had that is the reason why Brett didn't finish his career there, is because they had already drafted Aaron, and they thought, it may be 2 more years before Brett's done, and he's going into year 4, and they were like, all right, we need to do something about this because we got this kid. And that's another thing. Imagine what Aaron Rodgers' numbers were if he played at any point in time during those 4 years. Yeah,
Jordan Love didn't play for like 3. He ain't played for like 3-4 years when he first got there. Some of these. Jerry's records of catches, yards, touchdowns, you ain't gonna touch it. Brett Favre, you ain't gonna touch it. I'm sorry, and I can appreciate it's a passing league right now. I don't know if you're gonna touch Tom Brady's, man. 80-some thousand yards. Because you got to think, Tom Brady had one major injury. He tore his ACL. It's gonna be hard to do some of these things. It really, really is.
Eli Manning had 210. That tells you.
That's crazy.
A lot of games, man. Now that right there, I respect. I respect.
Oh, yeah. I do, and that's what I'm saying. It's a. Hey, Brett Favre, I didn't know it was that many consecutive. Man.
Yeah, dude, if you think about that, 297.
That's once again, like him, dislike him. That's Mount Rushmore type stuff, bro. That's correct. What? Most players don't even want to play that many games. Like, I don't want to put 200. I'm good on that. But 290, to put that in perspective, man, in football, 290, dude. Yeah, that's And
when you put that up against what LeBron said about it being easier today in basketball, different sports, I say, no, man, you're dealing with a different generation, different culture, just different mindset and how you played that game. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it, man. I do. Brett's commitment to that, to getting it done and showing up to work was at an all-time high. He sacrificed some stuff in that process, man. But you were never going to see that again.
You're never going to see a Brett Favre again. You're never going to see another Cal Ripken again. It's just not the way. It's not the way athletes approach the game today. And that's another reason why, like I said, like as much as I like to get on LeBron, like he's still another one of those guys. You're never going to see another one like him either. We talk about like he's not the GOAT, he's not Michael, but LeBron is still him. Let's make that very well and clear. He is a once in a generation type athlete.
LeBron is putting that.
I'm happy to hear you say that, Steve.
Huh?
I'm happy to hear you say that.
Listen, I'm hard on people, but I give them their due. I'm never gonna not sit there and say that this guy is an amazing athlete. He's an amazing athlete. He's been doing it for more than 20 years. That doesn't happen, let alone any other sport.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron James played long enough for his son to get drafted on the same team he's on, right? And the thing about it is, everybody said LeBron he needs to. Dude, he ain't even. People say he don't play like he used to. He's 41.
You got your game. Your game has to change a bit. That's sitting there saying that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played the same way that he did when he was known as Lou Alcindor. Like, come on, stop playing with us, people.
I mean, look, I listen. When we gonna clip. What do Steve say? What do Scott say? We're gonna clip that when you were talking glowingly about LeBron. We're gonna add him. We're gonna send it to him and say, listen, Steve just wants you to don't know. You just ain't Mike. But here's the thing: he
doesn't need to be. He's the Mike of his generation.
Nobody's Kobe. Nobody. Right? If I can end the debate when it comes to, if you say who's the greatest basketball player of all time, if we're being honest, it's Kareem. Kareem is the greatest because Kareem did it everywhere. He was the greatest when he was with the Lakers. They retired his jersey with the Bucks. They retired his jersey with the Lakers. He's the reason why cats wanted to be you. He's the only reason why basketball players want to go to UCLA. He's the reason why, right? It's because of, but in high school, and he has the most unstoppable move in sports. The sky hook. You can't. I don't know why cats don't do it now because they too cool. You know what I'm saying? They too cool. But he's done it everywhere he's been, and I mean he had the most points till LeBron came through. The fact that LeBron came to the NBA and said, I want the scoring record and got it, dude. I mean, there are players that say, LeBron got 42. How did he do that? How did he get that many points? Hey, man, consistent. When people say, who's the greatest scorer of all time? LeBron. Well, LeBron, how can you not be the greatest scorer ever when you got 42? And we talking about a number that's going up every day. It's still going up. LeBron trying to get to 44,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's nuts.
One of the things I want to talk about this week, we were talking about coaching, the hiring cycle, and everything like that. Obviously, a lot of things happen here in Philadelphia, but I think the scariest thing that no one was talking about, obviously, hired Sean Manning, hired Josh Gizzard as pass game coordinator. We feeling good about that situation. But the thing that no one's talking about is Vic Fangio was about to retire. He's about to retire, and I think that would have set us back more than anything that Kevin Patullo happened to do or anything like that. Rumor was that after the Super Bowl last year, he was contemplating on it, and he just didn't because he wanted the attempt to run it back. Obviously, those thoughts came forward again this offseason. The upper management, whether it be Mr. Lurie, Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, whatever the case may be, talked them into coming back this season. And we were talking about it last night that guys like Andy Reid, Vic Fangio are getting to the point where they're going to be walking away. Going into this year, going into next year, who do you feel like might be potential coaches that'll walk away at the top of their game? We just lost not one, but both of the highest tenured coaches in Harbaugh and Tomlin, both going to other, Harbaugh going to another program. Tomlin's probably taking a year off. I believe he will be Marcus Powell's coach next season. I believe he's going to be a New York Jet next season. You can quote me now. I'm sticking with that. But who would you be surprised to see retire, walk away among the current coaches that we have
across the NFL?
Yeah, across the NFL.
Who would be surprised? Something. I think that Sean McVay is a young guy. He got into head coaching at a young age. He's had obviously a lot of success, and it would and wouldn't shock me to see this guy go out with Matt Stafford. To be honest with you, take some time off and regroup possibly. And I'm just saying this, you're shocked at me with the question, and I'm just thinking it would surprise me. It would surprise me, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? Because again, he's so young. He's already had so much success. Now, do you want to give up coaching in LA? Do you want to give up coaching in LA where you have a great relationship apparently with an owner GM? I don't know, man, but I know these coaches get burnt out. These coaches need a break. You know, I bet you that up in Pittsburgh, the ownership there spoke to Mike Tomlin about taking a break as opposed to just walking away. So yeah, I'll go with McVay. It wouldn't shock me / it would shock me.
I'm gonna go with another Sean. You know, Sean Payton, man, has been doing it a long time, right? And sometimes you just want to, you know, coaches got egos just like players. Coaches are players that didn't make the NFL. A lot of them play, they just want. Mike Tomlin said that. You know, Sean Payton didn't like what went down with him and Russell Wilson, made it look like he wasn't that good of a coach. Like, bro, what you mean, right? But he get rejuvenated through a Bo Nix, and you see what's going on with them. I think next year, if they have a run like they did this year, and they potentially, you know, go to the Super Bowl, win or lose, I could see it. Because what's crazy is some of these coaches don't be as old as the game make them look. Like, do you what? Yeah, dude, it's rough. Like, it's a lot of stress. The pressure is all the time. And never, you know, guys getting hurt, guys want to get traded, guys want more money, we losing. And obviously, I think Andy Reid, I know what I said, like, I'm going to say it again. I hope that Andy Reid is going to do for Eric Bieniemy what only he can do. And go to the front office and say, look, I just ain't got it in me, man. Like, I got rejuvenated when I came to Kansas City, but I gave a lot of great years to Philly, great ones. And to do it for two iconic franchises, dude, I'm tired, bro. Like, I lost my son. He lost his son. You know, he went through a lot as a coach. I can see Andy Reid. And here's the thing, right? Let Andy Reid retire as a Kansas City Chief and an Eagle. Let him come over to the Eagles. I don't know if a coach has ever done that. I don't know if a coach has ever said, hey, man, can I just come through? Because it's so crazy to see Andy Reid now in that Kansas City red, man. Because you saw him so years in that Eagles green, right? And everybody thought when he went to Kansas City, he wasn't going to make it. But he said, dude, I came from one of the grittiest, grimiest cities ever, but they showed me how to coach. They showed me how to do it. And, I mean, ain't a lot of other coaches, man, that I think that I could foresee. Like Sean Payton, you mentioned Sean McVay. He wouldn't do it, right? Because he's still too young. Kyle Shanahan tired as hell, man. He is tired. He is tired out there in San Francisco. It's so rare to be a head coach in the NFL, man. Like, you want to do it as long as you could do it. You want to stay there as long as they can stay there. If Harbaugh goes to the Giants for 1 year and calls it quits, I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised if he did that. Call it quits. Because
I'm with you on Sean Payton. I think he would probably be my surprise one out of the ones that are still there. If Andy Reid walks away after this season or during this offseason, I wouldn't be surprised one bit. He's earned it, so to speak. But the fact that you know, we heard Vic was potentially going to try to walk away. That was surprising to me, considering, you know, he came to Philadelphia because this is his home, this is his backyard, this is where he wanted to retire. I felt like we were going to get more than 5 years out of him. So, kind of why I framed it that way. You know, we'll see what happens. You know, as we move along over the next offseason, if Vic does walk away, and another one, you know, even if he does decide that, you know, another one of these guys that earned it. But you know, I guess those are I don't agree with Marvin with McVay. I think even if his time in with the Rams are done, he'll probably wind up going somewhere else. But Ben hit on something right at the end there is Kyle Shanahan. It wouldn't be surprising to me if, you know, another rough season out there in San Francisco.
It's a lot, man. His daddy's legacy, going to 2 Super Bowls, coming up short. Jimmy Garoppolo, Joe, you know, Brock. Like, he's done a lot. I'm not saying he's not one of the. You know, he's a good coach, man. It's just the grind of being a coach, man. You got to. you got to have the most understanding family members there is, because those are the ones who make the biggest sacrifice, man. Your wife and your children, because if the assistant coaches ain't never at home, you might as well put a bed in there for the head coach, because it's, you know what I'm saying, for press conferences and breaking news this and late night calls that. So I give those head coaches a lot of credit. Kyle Shanahan has some of the most unrealistic shoes to fill with what his daddy did.
Yeah,
man. So I think he's done a good job. I think he's done a really, really good job.
Now, two quick ones, and then we'll parting shot this out and wrap this one up. Obviously, the two greatest quarterback performances in the NFL history, according to PPF, is Nick Foles and Jalen Hurts. Marvin, this is going right to you, brother. Do you feel that Sam Darnold has it in here to not only hit this list, but potentially be hit the top of it? Nick Foles had a 92.3. Jalen Hurts had a 92.2 to be at the top of this PPF performance list. Do you think Sam Darnold has it in him to do that this coming Sunday?
I think that he has a defense who can support him getting the ball and holding on to the ball, getting more opportunities with the ball. I think he has a run game that's going to help set up a great play action. And I think he has a receiving core that can get it done. And I think he's playing at a high level in spite of being 0-4 against the Patriots in his career. Is it possible in this era of football, the way we play offense? Absolutely. Of course it's possible. I think for him, it's more about just getting the win, man. Just win the game. Just do what you're supposed to do. You ain't got to go out there and be the hero. But I think when you look at how they've played, you look at how the offense is set up, I think he absolutely has an opportunity to go in there and make some history and walk away with that MVP. And that's me being objective. I'm just saying. All right.
Ben, your thoughts. Can Sam Darnold get onto that top 10 quarterback performance PPF list?
100%, because of those two guys at the top. I would compare like Jalen Hurts and Nick Foles to like a Sam Darnold, right? Guys from this way. You talk about guys who weren't the media darlings. No, we want not him. Why do you keep bringing us him? That's the wrong guy. Dude, you had told me to go get the guy that's going to win the Super Bowl. That's Nick Foles. He's going to win. And Sam Darnold has the best demeanor. He don't really say a lot all about the team, keep all the attention off of him, but he went to SC now. It's in him. You do not go to SC if you don't want smoke at quarterback, right? So he lets what his play do. Now behind the scenes, he probably, because of people like, man, F these people, man. But in front of the camera, he don't say it. And I like that. I like the fact that we have to speak for him. He don't seem like but guess what? He got that little third overall pick, baby. You don't become a third overall pick being all right. He looking at Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen, right? And Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and even Lamar Jackson saying, "What's the Super Bowl like? I'll let you know after I win it." So I don't want to talk right now. I'll let you know. I like that, bro. I like that cool calm. So yeah. The fact that Nick Foles is at the top, bro, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, he only went one. Some of us ain't going to none. I got to play in the playoffs.
If you go back and look, Jalen's on it twice.
Look, listen. We watch football for the games and the stories that come out of it. I want to see. And right now, if Jalen Hurts had a commercial queued up as soon as he went in the Super Bowl, remember he won it. Jordan popped right out with the Super Bowl commercial, right? What you think SC waiting to do? They ain't approached him yet. Hey, what's up, Sam, man? Congratulations, man. This is so-and-so over here at the media department over here at SC. Man, we love what you're doing. And they ain't going to ask him. They're going to say, we're going to do a documentary on you. All right. He don't even get to say no. You see what I'm saying? Hey,
listen, I haven't been shy about this. As soon as we knew Seattle was going to be in, I'm all for it. And it's not being against the evil empire. It's just the veteran going against the kid that's too wet behind the ears to even realize what's happened. And the fact that Seattle's defense is probably the best defense we've ever seen in Seattle. And that's not trying to take anything away from the Legion of Boom. The way that they get after it, the way they hunt for turnovers, turnovers. It's something we haven't seen before. And let's not forget the other reason why I wanted to do it is to piss Dallas off even more. Is the first year DeMarcus Lawrence leads Dallas, he's going to get himself a Super Bowl. That's the real reason why I'm voting for Seattle right now.
And Michael Parsons ain't even no Cowboy. He ain't even no Cowboy either.
So, but one last one. I always try to not go into some of the political nonsense and stuff like that. But everyone knows the Epstein list came out, and there's two owners that have been put on that list. You have the Giants owner that is on the Epstein list, and also the Redskins owner / Sixers owner Josh Harris is on that list. Roger Goodell made his statement. League is aware of the reports, and Steve's response. Our office will look into the matter to try to understand the facts. I don't want to hear what you guys think about the list or anything like that. Do you feel once the NFL does what they're going to do, would they remove any ownership member, forcing them to sell their team, to remove them from that process so they are no longer involved with the league? Marvin, then Ben.
Absolutely. It's about the brand. It's about reputation. It's about image. It's about marketability. I think if because you got to think to be an owner, you have to go through a certain type of check. You go through checklists. They do character assessment and all that stuff. And something this public, this known, nah, man. If they on there for the wrong, being in them emails is one thing, because you may have done business or just had a business relationship or whatever. But being on that list as a pedophile, and they're using that language in them emails with your name, that's a big problem for the NFL. You got to go.
Ben.
I agree. You got to get up out of there. I mean, Dan Snyder literally had to sell the team for far less, right? Had to sell the team for far less, right? Yes, because at the end of the day, do you care about children or not? Do you care about what happens to children or not? And I'm not getting into the list, right? But think about this, Steven. You expect me to believe it was just a business? So you don't. All y'all talk was business, yeah. That's it, yeah. It's hard to believe. I'm not saying that you ain't telling the truth. I'm saying it's hard to believe that. And if the NFL is all about the shield, which it is, do the right thing then. Don't give me that. Yeah, but how deep did this go? But let me tell you what them two owners gonna tell Roger Goodell though. We gonna sell the team, yeah. But you make a billionaire do something he don't want to do. He gonna tell on some other people too now. Nino Brown on New Jack City. Oh, it ain't just me. Right? So, but I do think you get rid of him though, because I don't even think it's negotiable. I don't even think No, because at a certain point, right, we got to speak truth to Powell, and you got to tell Powell down sometimes. You can't just keep on telling him you shouldn't have done that. No, you got to go, bro, because we don't want to be associated with that. We don't agree with that. And it's in the bylaws. That's what you signed and agreed to. Got to go. And I hope, and I know Roger Goodell is the face of the NFL. I know they pay him a lot of money, but hey, man, yeah, you got to go. And I don't think it's negotiable. I just don't. At a certain point, we need to be outraged. We need to be just as outraged when billionaires do things as we are with poor people doing. Because when poor people do them, get him out of there. He shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. Well, do it to the ones that name is tattooed on the check. He got to go too. So, you're a billionaire. And here's the thing, they're gonna come up because they're gonna sell it for what 10, 15 times what they bought it for. Donald Sterling still came up with the Clippers people. I know he had to go, but so get him out of there, man. I don't want to hear no explanations. Go. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, listen, I'm hearing you too, because like I said, Josh Harris is on that list. He's a part owner of the Redskins, and he has ownership here with the Sixers too. So it hits me in a way too. So, regardless of Giants having issues on their side of things, I could care less. If these guys are on these lists, I'm with you there. They got to go, and they got to go ASAP.
There's a reason why it took a long time for these lists to come out, because of who was on it.
I think it's going to get worse as we continue to get the unredacted versions of them being brought to our attention, and it's sad that we're sitting here damn near 10 years since this man's death, and we still dealing with this because of the fact that who he touched both politically wise, entertainment wise, etc. Like I don't care who you are. If you were involved with this, I had knowledge of what this man was doing, and you engaged in all of it, you need to be
if you had knowledge of it and didn't do anything, you just as bad as the people that were involved in it. Because at the end of the day, I'm like you, Marv. Look, man, once again, we got to get into these rooms to start saying, hey, now we ain't doing that. What you mean we good with that? I ain't good with that. I just want to, no, put it, because man, sometimes you guilty by association.
Yep. Now, as we wrap this up, last thoughts, Marvin, then last thoughts, Ben.
Listen, it's the unfortunately it's that sad time of year. Football is almost over. You know what I mean? And it's a heartbreaking situation. Whenever it gets to the playoffs, I get a little sad because I realize what this really means. So let's just enjoy this game, enjoy these next couple of days, all the Super Bowl talk, take it in. And, this Sunday will be the holiest of all. And it'll be bittersweet, and I really mean that. So, yeah.
Marvin, there's no off season here on the Fan in the End. It doesn't matter. Me and Ben been through a couple off seasons. There's always plenty to talk. It may be
the UFL ain't the same, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't talking UFL.
Hey, listen, hey, Steven. Marvin saying the UFL ain't the same. And breaking news: the new president of UFL is Marvin. Yeah, I think this is one of the best products. That's how it goes. They throw that money at you. Next thing you know, hey man, listen, man, money talks BS run America.
Right.
But with that being said, this show shows me why. I enjoy being on here with you guys. Being a former player, and Marv can speak to this, it's hard to replace the game, man. That thing is addictive. But Stephen A. Smith said something, I agree. He said the reason why I want to do sports media is not because I don't want the sports world, I want the whole world. The whole world comes through this door. This content is incredible. Marvin, adding you to this 3-man weave, make this thing what it is. It's a pleasure having you on. And before and after, Marvin Powell, the second. No, I'm sorry, the first, because you the third. Who's the first?
My grandfather is Sergeant.
Okay, I was making sure. I wanted, because I'm like, wait a minute, now he's the third. Okay, we're gonna make sure that the Powell family is treated like the Manning family, and say, hey man, that's what I'm gonna do. Somebody, hey man, how you feel about Bill Belichick? F Bill Belichick. Why is Marvin Powell not here? Who is that? Yeah, look his name up. F Bill Belichick. He'll be all right. Bill Belichick ain't in the Hall of Fame, but him and his lady just broke up. He pissed. That's why he's pissed. Forget the Hall of Fame. Y'all done made a lead. Man. But, hey, man, it's a pleasure being on this show. The Fan in the End is a place for all athletes, both future, former, current. And we come on here and have fun. If you don't like what we saying, guess what? You don't like what we saying because you think we wrong. That don't make us wrong, though. You just don't like what we're saying. But instead of not liking what we're saying, just make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. You come here for the nuance. You come here for the nonsense, but you stay because it makes sense. Fan in the End, it just makes sense. You don't got to like it, but we love it. Keep listening.
Yeah, it's always fun, talking all aspects of sports with you two gentlemen. So, we gonna keep doing this as long as they allow us to, and continue to talk everything: football, basketball, baseball, hockey when it makes sense. Listen, we're gonna debate everything here on the Fan in the End, and
this y'all be seeing me looking. This is what I'm looking at. You see this right here? No, don't be all shy now. Go behind up here. This will be trying to make appearances all the time. Look at the camera. Say something. Okay, go. Because I'm in this room and we used to lock the door, but she'll hit it with her nose. She'll hit it. And we don't, you know what I'm saying? And so when you hit the door, y'all can hear the door going boom. I'll be like this. Because it goes out to my backyard and And she's.
I don't know if you've seen this. There's been multiple times where I've done interviews with some of my combat sports athletes, and they dog just has to come in. We were doing it with Joe Elmore, last weekend, and he's like, my dog's trying to join the interview. I'm like, let him join, because I'd rather have him or her pop in on camera than hear him barking because you ain't giving them the attention they want. So,
Taylor, you made your fan in the end debut. All right, you did it. You're famous.
Well, that should put a wrap on this one. Again, guys, we are going to reschedule Eric King for some time. Over the next few weeks, we'll get him back on here. We'll be back tomorrow with a special interview for our combat, our health and wellness expert, Mr. David Schmidt will be on. So we'll be talking everything, health related, recovery related, as far as our performance athletes go. Obviously I've already said it, Knuckle Mania is here. So I'm going to be covering that this weekend. Keep an eye out for some extra content, interviews, stuff of that nature. And we're going to be doing a whole lot more here on the South Florida Tribune. So appreciate everyone tuning in. Appreciate, our knuckleheads in the chat. We still on here. We still talking. We're keeping it real over here. We be here as long as we need to be, my friend. But other than that, another fun one in the book. We will be back tomorrow. We will see you guys throughout the week. Marvin is doing what? One of 3 today. He's gonna be a busy man here on the South.
Marvin putting the rounds on was it Wednesdays and Thursdays?
Wednesdays.
Listen, and Marv has already let y'all know when Sam Darnold win it all, you think you couldn't deal with him by talking about SC before. Melvin. I'm praying for you, man. About to get ugly.
Yeah, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be fun, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that QR code to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Smash that notification bell. Do not miss on any of the programming here on the South Florida Tribune Media Network. For this episode, I'm Steve. That's Marvin. There's Ben. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Have fun, my friends.